Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to F1 2018, and welcome to Round 3, Grand Prix of China from Shanghai. So, we qualified P2, and we just took a beating on the start. I struggle with it, man. I really do. It's tricky for me, mostly because I'm trying to preserve the car, and that seems to not matter. I get knocked around so badly. I don't know, man. Sometimes, like, if I stay on my line, I feel like I get bumped. Other times I feel like, if I move into someone else's, not their line, but, if I get more aggressive and get my elbows out a little bit, that actually works better somehow. So, right now I believe we have some minor front wing damage. We are on ultra soft from qualifying, and let me back up a little bit and tell you, like I always do, how we got here. So I had one R&D program go through for this race, but I have 3 more cooking, and they will be in because we got points in round 1. We had points when you start the game. You get like 2,000 points. We used those, but some of those took a couple weeks to come in. Then we got points in Australia. We ordered more things, then some things came in Bahrain, and the things that we had ordered after Australia will be in next week. This one, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, like right now, you can see I'm giving Hulkenberg so much room, and I really should just tuck in behind him and relax, because I don't get the pass, but I don't. You see what I mean? Like I should have just tucked in behind him and chilled the F out, rather than trying to drag race him, especially on lap 1, I think. So it's tricky for me. I'm learning patience. I'm learning how to be, at least how to be a better F1 2018 driver. I don't know how that applies to real life, but I'm certainly trying. And I'm really enjoying this game, I have to say. So, right. Had one program come through on R&D, did the development programs, the practice programs. They're different than they were in F1 2017. I feel like there's more points available, for one thing, or the game is more generous with the points, but I feel like we're getting more points out of these, and we're able to develop the car faster. So got through those. In Q1 we were like P5, so we moved to Q2. In Q2 we were like P2, and then in Q3 we were P2. Do all the practices. Even if you just go out and do a few hot laps, do all the practices in this game. I got in the habit of skipping them. I would do the practice programs in P1, in FP1, and then just skip ahead to qualifying. But they really want you to do all 3 practices. So yeah, got through that and had another interview with Claire. And man, it feels almost random, I have to say. When you working with Claire and she asks you questions and you answer them, I'm trying to read them and think like a person. Like, I'm not trying to game the game, I'm just trying to answer as I really would in real life. And I feel like it's still, like they're still wrong somehow. She asked me 3 questions. 2 of them gave me a bump with Williams. 1 of them I lost points with Williams. And my chassis department, engine morale is good. Engine department morale is good. Chassis morale is poor. And then aerodynamics and reliability. No, reverse that. Reliability is poor. Chassis and aerodynamics are normal. I haven't pissed them off yet. But it's tricky. And I'm looking for, I guess I'm looking for logic in it. Maybe I'm looking for too much logic in it. Like you just pick an answer and whatever. Like it's almost random. I don't know. That doesn't seem, as detailed as this game is, that doesn't seem like a thing. Anyway, so yeah, here we are. It's like lap 3, lap 4, and I'm catching up. I want to say that's Bottas. I believe Hamilton was like further back. He struggled in this race, but I'm catching up Bottas, and then that's it's not Ricardo. It's Verstappen up ahead. Oh, and yeah, right there through that little complex, that little second gear turn, I did go wide there. That's the 2nd lap in a row. I do have front wing damage. It's minor, but it's affecting downforce when we're braking into that corner. But I do get it dialed. I find a new brake point the following lap. So we've got Bottas in front of us, and then in front of him is Verstappen. not Ricciardo. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Want to say Vettel is up front, like always, but Hamilton is not, which is unusual, and Ricciardo is nowhere to be seen. So it's interesting, and I think I think we're about P4, P5 right now. What I'm going to do is go to first pit stop, and then I'm going to do the end. I'm going to try to sew those two together. So we'll do the beginning of the race and the end of the race. And the end is well, I always get ahead of myself. I won't get ahead of myself, but it's an interesting race. And I really, every week that I do this, I enjoy this more and more. And it's strange the way that I'm sort of doing this. I only play this game. I literally only play this game on Thursday evening when I record the race for to post on Friday for F1 Friday. And that's different for me. Normally I sort of binge on a game. Now what's interesting is I've got 3 race sessions. This is the 3rd. But with a little bit of miscellaneous, I already have like 19 hours on this game, according to Steam, in just a few weeks. So I'm certainly playing it. And I'm definitely enjoying it. So I'll just leave you to the sounds of racing for a minute, and then I'll talk at you again. So I believe Verstappen just pitted. So it's me and Bottas, and I want to say, it's a pretty shot. I've always liked that one with the tracking camera. And I want, man, it's so weird because when I do these races, I just got done with this a few minutes ago. The air conditioning in this hotel room is cranked, and I'm like dripping sweat. I'm exhausted, and yesterday was leg day. So I just did, with the practice programs and the qualifying and everything, I just did about 3 hours of share time, and my legs, I felt like a baby giraffe even before I sat down. And I just did 3 hours in the chair on the pedals. So I'm like physically spent. And that's another thing that's weird. I would never have thought a video game could kick my ass the way this one does, but it really does. And F1 2017, it's the same, but there's no other racing game, I think, that does this to me, and I have to say it's because of the level of commitment. Like I've never done career mode in any other race sim other than iRacing, but that's all there is in iRacing is career mode. But the races, I'm on my C license, my C road license in iRacing, and the races are still relatively short, like 20 minutes, half an hour. This race is close to an hour, and I only did half length. But with it being career mode, it's like you're committed, like however this race turns out is what we own for the season, and we'll have to deal with it, good or bad. And I feel like other sims like Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa, I do a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily call them sprint races, but they're just scratch races. You just pick a car, pick a track, pick some opponents, set the difficulty, and go out and race. But it's not really connected to anything. There's nothing in front or behind. You just do a standalone race. Whereas with this, it's like it actually matters. Once I get in the chair, it actually matters. And it's really important to me to post these on time every Friday. So it's a little bit after 11 right now, 11 p.m. And if I was here till midnight, till 1 a.m., that's what I would do to make sure that this race got done so I could post it tomorrow. So I think that sort of added pressure, maybe you want to call it, is what kind of kicks my ass a little bit. But in a good way. I don't necessarily mind it. And I'm really loving this game. Now, something else that I can tell you that's new, and I think I did 10 rounds, 10 calendar stops in F1 2017. Before the new one came out, and then this is our 3rd stop. So call that 13 Grand Prix that I've done. And if you go back to the first one, Now, obviously I'm still kind of a grom at this. I'm definitely learning. But I'm getting more and more comfortable trusting my breakpoints and trusting the AI to hit their breakpoints. And that's really weird for me, particularly, well, we'll need to wait till we get back into traffic, which I think might happen after this pit stop. Either that or Bottas just blows right past me. That's a possibility as well. I'm trying to remember. I just did this race and I've literally forgotten everything that happened. But when I'm in traffic now, I'm a lot more comfortable just hitting my brake point. It's always worked, and I trust that the traffic in front of me they're not going to brake check me. They're going to hit their brake point as well, which is usually in about the same place. And we'll just go through the turn together. Versus in the past, really checking up and worrying about getting into the back of the car in front of me and damaging my wing. I don't worry about that as much as I used to, and I'm just a lot more comfortable trusting the AI. And it could be because it's higher than I've ever run it in the past. Where'd he go? There he is. It's higher than I've ever run it in the past, and it could be that when you run it higher, AI brakes later, and that's the difference that I'm seeing. Think, yeah, this is probably one of the closest sort of scrap races that I've ever had, and we'll go till my pit stop. That's actually kind of funny too. There's Bottas getting frisky, son. That's interesting too. I did start on the ultra soft, and I was scheduled for a one-stop race. I want to say about lap 7, lap 8. So right now I'm on burned up ultra softs with a busted front wing, mildly busted, not terribly busted, and I'm holding off Bottas, and I'm really enjoying myself right now. But I know when I come in, they're going to put me on mediums, and I'm going to do another. Oh yeah, my tires are cooked. Where'd he go? There he is. So it's 28 lap race. I pit on, say, lap 7. I got to do 21 laps on mediums, which is not impossible, but I'm still learning how to preserve the tires and how to take care of the equipment. So I'm really gloating about this pit stop, and then I realized as I'm looking at the HUD how many other cars are on, when I come out of the pit, how many other cars are on mediums, and it's oh, how many people did a one-stop strategy. So I thought, because the options were one-stop strategy or three-stop strategy, I thought, oh sweet, that's 50 seconds I'll make up on everybody, because they're going to stop once, bonk. They're going to stop, I'm going to stop once, and they're going to stop 3 times, right? And each stop you lose about 25 seconds total, end to end. And there's Kimi Räikkönen catching us up while we're fooling around, banging into each other. And it didn't work out that way. It turns out a lot of people did a one-stop strategy. So that sort of, patience. I sort of jammed myself there, but I did not want to get into the side of either one of them. This game there's a lot of patience in this game. Yeah, my tires are absolutely hammered. I think they were at about 85% when I came in. And I've been told that at 82%, that's when you can potentially get natural puncture, just from the tire being so degraded. Right, so here come my mediums. Here's my wing. Thank you, gentlemen. I have to go. I have an appointment. Thank you very much. I have to go now. And I think, tell you what, let's cut it off here, and then we'll go to the end and just do the last few laps. Right. See you in a minute. So picking it up from now, this is beginning lap 24. We came out of the pit. We came out of our pit stop in P16, and just gradually worked our way back up. We're in P5 right now. We did get back about 6 of those positions when other cars pitted, and then we passed a lot of not necessarily back markers. I wouldn't call them back markers. We did get some good green flag passes on a lot of mid-pack traffic. But we have behind us now Alonso, of all people, and this is the next few laps. This is probably the most extended scrap I think I've had in this game, in this one or F1 2017. My tires are cooked. I'm trying to preserve them, and it's the difference between P5 and P6. So it's really not, I mean, plus it's round 3. So it's really not, I don't want to say it's not a big deal, but part of me is like, why am I battling right now? Just let him go by and finish the race, because the next traffic back, it's like you can't even see it. If Alonso got past me, I wouldn't say I could just cruise, but I certainly wouldn't be brawling like I am with him. So I've got Rich Mix. I'm in high mode on ERS. I'm not in overtake or anything, but I'm in high mode. And it says right now, I think that I'm about 0.75 green on fuel, so I am running Rich Mix. And I'm just doing everything I can to avoid getting past. This is probably the most careful and most defensive that I've been since I've been in this sim. And just to clarify, and for future reference, when I say this sim, I mean this one or F1 2017. So any of the Codemasters F1 games, because I did just make that switch from 17 to 18. So after that little bump right there, he does seem to give us a little bit more room, but it's like he never goes away, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I was looking for more. I'm just looking for that perfect setting on the AI where I feel like I'm racing and I have a chance, but nothing's being given to me. So we're just about done here. Then we'll go to some of the other screens and see how we did. And I think, I mean, 5th, I don't know if it's going to hurt or help us, because we were in, I think after 2 rounds, we were in 6th for the championship points. But they're looking for, my agent is looking for 7ths and 8ths. So the expectations are pretty, I don't want to say they're modest for the season, but I feel like they're not outrageous. I feel like they are expectations that we can certainly meet or exceed. And we have been. We've been doing really well so far this season. Australia was a little bit rough, but then we had a great race in Bahrain. A little bit wide. Yeah, my tires are absolutely roasted. And just that little mental error right there. He's able to he might not be back in DRS range, but he's close. He's close. So this game is, I think I've said it before, this game is very unforgiving, and I actually enjoy that and appreciate it. It really makes me focus. So yeah, I think we're going to have a great season, and I've made peace with the fact that we're going to have a Williams kind of season. I did not want to race as one of the big 3. So this is going to be hopefully an appropriate season for Williams. And I was running Reshade and SweetFX in 17. I don't know if I'm going to apply Reshade and SweetFX to 18. Reason being, I think the game looks great. Everything is on high, and a couple of things are on ultra or max. And right now we are locked in at 60 FPS. No problem. And I think I might just leave it, because I know... I'm trying to think. Yeah, just about every sim that I'm in right now, I'm running Reshade. And I can turn it on and off and see, like, plus or minus 7 or 8 FPS, 10 FPS. And when you're scrapping for 60 like I am, I'm on a gaming laptop, but I am not on some big liquid cooled i9 1080 processor, 1080 graphics card. I'm on a laptop, and I love my laptop. I love my render, but I'm not going to push it and expect it to do great things. I'm happy to be at 60 FPS at all. I don't need to mess with the graphics on this game, I don't think. They look fine to me. And that typically means that I'll install Reshade and SweetFX like later tonight. That's just how I do. Make a decision, and then I do exactly the opposite. That just works out for me. So, yeah, man, I think we're just about done here. We'll hop to that final screen and see where we end up for the championship points after round 3. Man, I'm tired. It's been a long day for me. It's been a long week. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Yeah, I'm tempted to hop in car just to see. I think this is lap 26, so we've got about 2 minutes left, 2 or 3 minutes. And I did, I guess, edit together what I would think of as race coverage of one of the classic races. I took one of the old McLarens and just drove around. Not Fuji, Suzuka. I just drove around Suzuka and then cut that together and tried to do, a race call. I don't know, man. I think I'm just too laid back for it. I know some people on YouTube that do amazing race calls of their own races. I think it's just not me. So I continue to struggle with how to package these races and what to do with them. But for now, I think it's just going to be show the start, show the end, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting so little feedback. I'm getting more though, actually, and the channel is growing. But I get so little feedback that it's really hard to know sometimes, like what's working and what's not. Oh, he just never goes away. I like it. Keeps pressure on, Alonso. And he does. Yeah, man, he's right there. He wants P5. I do too. Yeah, some little lines like that, just jerking the wheel that one last time and being further in than I need to be and scrubbing off just that tiniest little bit of speed. Like, I know I want to get the AI to 100% at some point, and I know to do that I'm going to have to just run perfect lines. There's no other way to do it. But I'm not there yet, man. Better, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, like right there. The line is way to the outside, and I'm just glued to that curb. It's a good reference point, though. That's a weird. Shanghai's it's a weird track. It's a cool track. I like it. I enjoy it, but it's different. It's definitely different. You can tell it is not an old school European F1 track for sure. I think this is 27. There's 28. It's the end of the race right here. I think. Is it a 28 or 26? It's got to be a 28. Yep. Okay, that's the end of the race. So we go here, and then we go here. And that should take us back to this. So, standings? How do we do? Okay, we're still in 6th. I'll take it. And we moved up to 4th. Okay, so that means somebody, nope, I guess that's just me. Okay. So yeah, Hamilton was way down, and I think Mercedes may have lost a point in the constructors more than we, or a position rather. I think Mercedes may have lost a position more than we gained one. I think. I don't know. I'm really tired. I'll figure it out. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of F1 2018. This was round 3, the Grand Prix of China. Although, looking at it, they say the Chinese Grand Prix. Either way, this was the race from Shanghai. Thanks for stopping back. We'll see you next time. Cheers.